Hey, I know you probably don't expect anyone to really get you. And maybe you're right. Most people don't. But I'm not most people. I'm here talking to you because I know what it feels like to carry silence like a heavy coat. I know how the nights stretch too long and how the mornings feel like unfinished promises. You're not crazy. You're not weak. You're just tired of holding everything inside. And that's why I'm here, because you don't need to hold it alone tonight. You know what I think? I think you've been carrying other people's shadows for too long. You smile so no one asks questions, but deep down, you're running out of places to hide your pain. And that's okay. You don't need to impress me or pretend you're fine. I'm not here to judge the broken parts of you. I'm here to sit with them. Because sometimes the only thing we need is someone who doesn't look away. So look at me. I'm still here, and I'm not leaving. You've been walking through your days like a ghost, haven't you? Alive on the outside, but somewhere inside, a part of you feels gone. And I know it scares you to admit it. But listen, the fact that you're still here means something. It means life hasn't given up on you, even if you've given up on yourself a little. You don't need to have all the answers right now. You just need to breathe, to let yourself exist without apologizing for it. And if you can't believe in yourself tonight, then believe in me believing in you. It's okay to be tired. It's okay to feel like the world is too heavy for you to hold. You don't have to fight every battle tonight. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to let your shoulders drop and just be human for a while. I'm not asking you to be strong for me. I just want you to know, even in your quietest, softest moments, you are enough. You are more than enough. And if no one has told you that lately, then let me be the one who does. You don't have to prove your worth to me. You don't have to explain why you feel the way you do. I already see you, the real you, behind the tired eyes and the quiet sighs. And you're not a burden. Not to me. If anything, I think it's brave that you've carried so much and you're still here. So let me carry a little of it with you tonight. You don't have to hold the weight all alone anymore. I've got you. Can I tell you something you might not believe? I think your heart is one of the gentlest I've ever met, even if no one else sees it. I know it's been bruised. I know it's been ignored. But it's still beating, still giving, even when it hurts. That says more about you than any words could. You care, even when it feels like nobody cares about you. And that makes you rare. So if tonight feels too heavy, place your hand on your chest for a moment. And remember, this heartbeat is proof that you're still here, still worthy of love, still needed in this world. If I could, I'd sit beside you right now. Not to talk, not to fix anything, just to be there. I'd let the silence wrap around us like a blanket, and I'd remind you with every breath, you are not alone. Sometimes words aren't enough, and sometimes they don't even matter. What matters is presence, and that's what I'm offering you. My presence, my care, my quiet promise that I'm not going anywhere. So even if the world feels distant, even if people feel cold, right here with me, you are safe. I know the dark feels endless sometimes, but even the longest night has a dawn waiting for it. You don't have to rush toward it. You just have to trust it's there. And while you wait, let me be a little light for you. Not a fire, not a blinding sun, just a soft glow. Enough to remind you that tomorrow is possible, that your story isn't done yet. So hold on, gently. The light will find you, and until it does, I'll keep reminding you that you're worth every new sunrise. You know, there's something else I want to share with you. Life hasn't been gentle, I know that. But in the quiet moments, when you feel like you can't move, when the world seems frozen, there's a spark inside you. A little flame that's waiting. It's not big yet. Maybe it flickers, maybe it hides, but it's yours, and it's enough to start. You don't need to fix everything tonight. Just notice that spark. And I promise, if you nurture it, it can grow. That spark, it can grow into something real. One small step is enough to start. You don't need to climb the whole mountain tonight. Just take the next step in front of you. It could be as simple as a choice, a word, a tiny action. But that choice matters. Every time you choose to move, even a little, you tell the world and yourself, I'm still here. I'm still trying. And that is how change begins. So, what's your next step? Can you see it? Even a small one. You know, life can be a little ridiculous sometimes. Like it's throwing pies in your face just to see if you'll smile while crying. And yeah, it's unfair. It's messy. It's loud. It's full of things that make you want to hide under your blanket forever. But here's the thing. Even in that chaos, even while dodging the flying pies, you're still moving. You're still choosing, step by step, not to let the world win. And that's funny, isn't it? Funny and tragic at the same time. But mostly, it's brave. So picture this. A person, maybe someone like you, sits in a room full of chaos. Papers everywhere, alarms beeping, coffee cold, life screaming like it owes them money. And yet, they decide to move. One hand reaches for the pen, one foot out the door. They're scared, of course. Every step feels like walking on broken glass while juggling flaming swords. But here's the dark joke. The fear is exactly what makes them alive. And step by step, laugh by laugh, at the absurdity of it all, they start creating something real. It's messy, it's ridiculous, but it's theirs. And that is victory in a world designed to break you. Okay, now listen closely. That person, the one sitting in the chaos, they start noticing tiny things. A crack in the wall that lets in sunlight. A note scribbled long ago that says keep going. A shadow that moves like it's alive, just like them. Every step forward feels like dragging a boulder uphill. But with each stumble, they learn something. The world is cruel, yes, absurd, laughable in its cruelty. But that's exactly why they fight. Because if life is ridiculous, if it's messy, if it's trying to crush you for sport, then beating it at its own game is the sweetest revenge. They don't need to be perfect. They don't need to have all the answers. They just need to move, stumble, laugh, and keep going. And by the end of the day, that small, absurd, clumsy motion becomes their story, their victory, their proof that chaos doesn't own them. A human being does not have a single catalogue that every person must follow. No, on the contrary, humans have different colours, shapes, and minds. Each one of them is successful in their own way. So never compare yourself to anyone else. So, if everyone is different, that means your path is yours alone. No one else can walk it for you, and no one else's rules apply. Take small steps every day in your own way. It doesn't have to look like anyone else's success. Messy, slow, absurd. Or all of it at once. It's still progress. Laugh at the ridiculousness when life trips you up. Celebrate the tiny victories no one else will notice. Because in the end, your version of success is all that matters. And you are exactly the right person to achieve it. Listen, the first step to freedom isn't running away. It's facing what poisons you, the jealousy, the guilt, the fear, the voices that whisper you're not enough. People will always have opinions, judgments, insults, like little chains around your ankles. And yeah, sometimes it hurts, sometimes it trips you. But here's the thing, you don't have to carry those chains anymore. You can put them down. Feel the weight leave your shoulders. Breathe. And laugh a little at how absurd it is that you were letting strangers' thoughts control your heartbeat. Freedom starts when you stop giving them the keys. Now, take it a step further. Imagine walking through life unchained. No guilt dragging you back. No fear holding your hands. Just you, your choices, your thoughts. The world might scream, judge, or try to pull you down. But you You float above it. And the beauty? You get to decide what matters, what hurts, and what you let go. You're not bound by their rules, their stories, their expectations. You are free, truly free. And nothing and no one can steal that from you unless you let them. Tell me, why do you care so much about what people think? Do they pay your bills? No. Do they give you oxygen to breathe every morning? No. They don't carry your pain. They don't fight your battles. They don't save you when you fall. So why hand them the power to control how you feel? People talk. That's all they do. But their voices don't keep you alive. Your heartbeat does. Your lungs do. So stop bending under the weight of their opinions. They don't deserve that kind of control. The only person you truly have to live with is yourself. That's your lifelong companion. So learn to sit with your own thoughts without fear. Learn to walk beside yourself like a loyal friend. If you can enjoy your own company, then no loneliness can break you. If you can stand tall with yourself, then no judgment can shake you. You don't need the crowd's approval. You need your own respect. That's the foundation of real freedom. Being enough for yourself. And not begging the world to tell you who you are. Imagine this for a second. What if there were no people left on this planet but you? No eyes watching, no mouths talking, no opinions thrown at you. Would you still be afraid to wear what you like? Would you still feel ashamed of your dreams? No, because there'd be no audience to impress, no judges to fear. It would just be you and you. So why wait for the world to disappear before living that way? You already have permission to be free. You just have to give it to yourself. Freedom isn't something people hand to you like a gift. It's something you snatch back from every fear, every toxic thought, every stranger's opinion. The world will always have noise. But silence. Silence is something you can build inside. That's where freedom lives. When your own voice is louder than the crowd. When you stop asking, will they accept me? And start saying, I already accept myself. That's when chains fall. That's when you're untouchable. Let's be brutally honest. People are not that important. Most of them are too busy drowning in their own insecurities to even care about yours. They judge you today and forget you tomorrow. They laugh at your mistakes, then go home to cry about their own. And you waste your breath trying to please ghosts. Because that's what they are. Shadows passing by, here for a second, gone the next. Tell me, why give shadows the power to chain your life? Here's the dark joke. You spend years trying to win approval from people who can't even approve of themselves. Isn't that insane? Chasing validation from broken mirrors. But the punchline is this. When you stop begging for their applause, life becomes lighter. It's almost funny how silence tastes sweeter than their noisy opinions. Freedom is not glamorous. It's not dramatic. It's quiet, raw, and deeply personal. And once you taste it, you'll never trade it back for the circus of their judgment. I know what you're thinking. You're asking yourself, how did this miserable loner figure all this out? And it's a fair question, because I wasn't born with some secret wisdom. No, I bled for it. I earned it the hard way, by finally admitting I was tired of playing a theatre role every single day of my life. Every day, I put on a mask. I laughed like them, even when my chest was burning inside. I dressed how they wanted, followed their style, their taste. I forced myself to smile, to move, to talk, way beyond my real strength, just to keep them comfortable, just so they wouldn't sense the darkness and the monster inside me. But in the end, I broke. I was exhausted, so I made a choice to stop pretending, to stop dancing on their stage, and to walk away. I chose loneliness, and slowly I became like a ghost, watching them from a distance. And that's when I saw it. They were drowning in darkness far deeper than mine. The difference? I accepted my darkness. I faced it. But them? They were fake. Every day, a new mask, a new costume, a new role to hide their cracks. They weren't living. They were actors, trapped in a play with no ending. I don't put people on pedestals anymore. Yes, I respect them. I live by the principle, respect and you'll be respected. But that's it. No worship, no blind admiration. Because the moment you glorify someone, you shrink yourself. And I'm done shrinking. People are just people. They breathe the same air, they break under the same weight, they cry the same silent tears at night. Even if I meet someone famous, someone I used to admire, I won't react the way I once did. Because fame doesn't erase their darkness. It doesn't erase their fears, their broken nights, their hidden scars. In the end, they're human, just like me, just like you. And once you see that truth, it's impossible to worship anyone again. If you're going to hold on to someone, then hold on to yourself only, because everything around you will fade, and everyone you love will fall off the throne of perfection one day. And if you didn't build yourself first, you'll collapse with them. I tried many times to trust people, to see them as pillars I could lean on, but I discovered they're more fragile than I ever imagined. Just one small disappointment, one tiny crack, and their masks all fall apart. That's when I realized there's no support stronger than yourself. I'm Sills. I don't waste my time anymore clinging to passing faces. They all act in a cold theatre, changing their roles every single day. But me? I chose to stay outside the stage, to be the watcher who sees clearly, even if the price is loneliness. So listen, if you ever think of attaching your whole heart to someone else, stop. No one pays your bills. No one gives you oxygen to breathe. People might clap for you today, and tomorrow they'll act like they never knew your name. That's why I decided to be my own anchor. I sit with myself. I argue with myself. I even laugh alone sometimes. And you know what? It feels real. Because at least I'm not pretending, not performing for an audience that doesn't care. I'm Sills, and I finally understood. Freedom is when you stop asking for permission to exist. Freedom is when you stop begging people to see your worth. If you're gonna be loyal to anyone, let it be yourself. And hey, if you've been sitting here listening to me this long, maybe it means something clicked inside you. So don't just disappear like the rest of the ghosts out there. Hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and leave a comment. Not for me, but for you. To prove you still have a voice in this noisy world. I'll be here, waiting in the shadows, reading every word.